Hello everyone, this is the audio and video for the Unit 1 Activity 4, Historical Significance of World War I Battles and Strategy. Okay, so when you get to slide number 2, you're going to see the list of tasks that you need to complete for this lesson. So there will be a discussion post, 2 portfolio uploads, and a quiz at the very end. So just follow through the slides. I'll be reading what's on most of the slides so that you can get the information and giving instructions on how to complete the activities. So our historical thinking concept that we're going to be exploring is historical significance. As a historian, we need to decide what is important. When we use criteria, we can easily evaluate something's importance. For this activity, we will focus on this question: why should we study battles and trench warfare to learn about World War I? In order to answer this question, we will use criteria to help us determine how these topics are historically significant. As you watch the introductory video, please consider the following. What questions should we ask to decide if something should be considered significant? When you get to slide 6, you'll see our video there. And after you've watched it, remember, when trying to decide if something is historically significant, use the following criteria. Did it impact a large number of people? Does it help us to answer a question or tell a story? Were the consequences long-lasting? Did the consequence have a big impact? Did it change anything? Does it reveal or tell us something about the event or time period we are examining? We can use these questions as criteria and apply them specifically to the question we are investigating. Why should we study battles and trench warfare to learn about World War I? In order to answer the question, we will ask, did trench warfare impact a large number of people? Were the consequences of trench warfare long-lasting? Did the consequences of trench warfare have a big impact? Did it change anything? Does trench warfare reveal or tell us something about the event or time period we're examining? So in addition to trench warfare, we're also going to be looking at new technology and also some key battles in World War I. So let's do a quick recap. In August of 1914, Britain and France declared war on Germany. Because we were tied to Britain and still not fully independent, Canada was automatically at war as well. Many believed the war would be over by Christmas 1914. However, the war lasted until November 11, 1918. So in the trenches. The first few months of war between August and November 1914 saw rapid advances by the German army through Belgium and into France. By the time winter arrived, the German advance had stalled, and the front, the line separating the opposing forces, was clearly established. Soldiers on either side dug in behind barbed wire and machine gun posts in a labyrinth of trenches that slashed across Europe for hundreds of kilometers. You can take a look at this diagram of trenches to gain better understanding. Living in the front lines was a constant struggle for survival. Snipers were always a threat. Soldiers did not just fight the enemy, they also fought the cold, the wet, and the mud. Conditions were so bad during the winter that most of the fighting just came to a halt. Major offensives, meaning major battles, were planned each year for the spring and summer. The squalor of the trenches resulted in thousands of soldiers suffering from trench foot and trench mouth. Trench foot is a painful foot condition caused by long submersion in water or mud and marked by blackening and death of the surface tissue. Trench mouth is an inflammation of the gums. They were also infested with head and body lice. At night, the rats came out to feed on the garbage, the corpses, and even on some of the sleeping soldiers. Shell shock was a medical condition first diagnosed during World War I. Unfortunately, this was a lasting effect from trench warfare. Allied officers thought that shell-shocked soldiers were merely shirking their duty out of cowardice. These genuinely ill soldiers sometimes faced imprisonment, physical abuse, and even firing squads. Take a look at this video clip from All Quiet on the Western Front just to get a better idea of what it was like going over the top in battle. Once you've done that, then you're going to be clicking on the Discussions tab in Brightspace, and you're looking for Unit 1 Activity 4 discussion, Life in the Trenches. You'll be answering these questions in your discussion post. Living on the front lines was a struggle. How do you think the soldiers handled the conditions? Does trench warfare reveal or tell us something about the event or time period we were examining? Were the effects of trench warfare long-lasting? Once you have completed your post, make sure that you respond to 2 of your classmates and try to give more than just a positive comment. Ask a question or add to the conversation.